everyone. Today I'm going to share with you how I create my own labels on PowerPoint. So we first want to fix the layout and the size of our PowerPoint slide. So I'm going up to layout under the home screen, and I made it a blank one so it has no text boxes or anything yet, so that it's totally up to us to design. And then if you click on the design tab, it will have a spot where you can go ahead and click page setup, and this is where you can change the size of your slide. I like to make it paper width and height, so 8.5 by 11, and then I push scale up so that it maximizes the amount of space we have, and then you'll see that it will rotate and fix it to look like an actual sheet of paper. So now we're going to go ahead and click insert and shape, and this is where we can put in whatever shape we want our labels to be. So maybe you want a circle, maybe you want a square or a rectangle, it's totally up to you. I'm just choosing the square today, so I'm going to click and drag on my screen and create the square. It doesn't matter how big I make it right now, because if you double click on it, over on the right you can change the height and the length to whatever you want it to be. So I'm just picking 2 inches by 2 inches, but I recommend measuring the surface you're going to be putting the label on first so that you know how big you need it to be. I would also recommend not putting it all the way up against the edge of the paper so that you have a little bit of margin room, so when you print this out things don't get cut off. So here all I did was just change it to a white background so that it has nothing in the middle, and then I made the border a gray border, and I made it a little bit thicker by adjusting the weight. So now it's time to add some fun things to our label. So this is totally where you can customize it to be whatever you want. I'm going to pick a couple different themes today to show you guys how I do them, but basically what you're going to do is go back up to insert and then pick pictures, and then you can go ahead and click the drop down menu and it will give you a couple options of where you're going to find your pictures. So mine are already in my files saved on my computer, so I'm just picking this clip art that I purchased from Etsy, and I will go ahead and link the pack down below because I think that they're super fun and cute and summery. We're just going to pretend that my theme today is watermelons, so I'm just repositioning it, resizing it so that it fits on my label and putting it where I want it to go, and now we basically have a background set up for our label. Now if I want the square border and my watermelon background to stay all together and I want to reuse this for multiple labels, I can highlight the whole thing and go up to the tab that says arrange and then click group, and now they are together and they'll move together. So I can copy this and paste it and make multiple new labels, or else I can also copy and paste it again and make another label but also delete some of the aspects of this one. So you'll see that I'm going to delete the watermelon and put a new background on my next label. To delete only the watermelon, all I did was double click on that arrangement and then I just pressed delete when my watermelon was highlighted. So this next label I'm showing you is a little tiny bit more complex. I just picked another clip art picture from my browser, and I am actually copying it and pasting it, so I have one on the top and one on the bottom just to make it a little bit more fun. And I'm also going to show you how to add a picture from an online browser if you don't have it already saved. So if you want to search for a picture that you don't have on your computer, go back up to insert pictures, but this time pick picture from browser, and it will take you to a search engine and you can type in whatever you're looking for there. So I typed in shiplap clip art because that's what I was looking for, and then a whole bunch of options will come up, and I ended up choosing this white one, and I want this to be the background for my whole label. So I'm going to press insert and it will become really big on my screen, so I'm going to have to resize it a little bit first. When I drag it up onto my label, it's going to go on top of the other clip art that I already have because that's the order that I added it to my screen. So I'm going to resize it so that it fits my label. However, I need to move it to the back. So once I'm finished resizing it, I'm going to right click on the clip art picture and click reorder, and then this crazy screen is going to show up that shows you the order of all the layers you have so far. So I'm going to take that layer and drag it all the way back behind actually the square that I have for the border so that it is behind everything, and now you see the clip art how I want it to be seen. From here, if you would like to, you can click and drag and highlight that whole label, and you can group it so that it's all together once again. If you want to change, right now I'm changing the transparency of that shiplap because I thought it was a little bit too harsh. So I went to the picture settings and I just changed that a little bit so that it's a little more faded. So the next thing I want to do is click insert and add text box because I would like to put the words on my label. So I'm just going to pretend this one's going to be a label for a box that holds pencils. So I'm typing in pencils. I'm going to format it a little bit so that I change it to be centered in the text box. I'm going to change my font size, and I would also like to change the actual font that I am using. So I'm going to show you where I get some of the fonts that I really enjoy using. If you go on to teacherspayteachers.com and type in fonts in the search box, you can literally find so many different fonts. And the cool thing is, if you scroll down a little bit on the left hand side, there is a filter for free ones only. If you click the free one, it will only show you free ones. So the ones that I use a lot are the Hello fonts and the All KG fonts. Once you click on them, you can download them for free and add them right to your Microsoft Office products, and then now I already have them downloaded, so now I can change them to any of the fun fonts that I picked. So the one that I'm going to end up picking is called KG, the only exception. So after you pick your font, you can kind of play around with it, maybe change the size a little bit more. You can change the color by clicking the A with the drop down arrow, and you can pick one of the preset colors or pick your own color. And that's basically how you add a text box with words to your label. So if you want to create a whole bunch of the same label, you can click and drag and highlight them and then press copy and paste. And this way all you'll have to change is maybe the words that you put inside of your label. But the cool thing is the font will be saved from label to label, so you don't have to adjust that each time. So one more way to make a label that I'm going to show you today is if you don't want that shape border that we put around the first ones, you can just insert a picture. This is another clip art that I got from Etsy. I really like these as well for making circle labels. You can just insert the picture and then not have an actual solid border around it. So I inserted my picture and I went ahead and resized it to the size that I wanted my label to be. And then once again, all I did was press insert text box, and I'm going to go ahead and type in the word that I want on my label. I'm going to play with the font, play with the size, and just center it. And that's really it. So you don't have to have that solid line around your label if you don't want to. It's just an option if maybe it helps you keep it a little bit neater with cutting, or if you just think that they look cleaner, that's always an option too. So then just a tip, when you do go to print this out or save it, I recommend saving it as a PDF if you don't want to edit it anymore, or you can save it as a PDF and as a PowerPoint file. That way when you go to print it, or if you want to access it from another computer, the fonts and everything won't be messed up since you did just download new fonts onto this computer only. Alright you guys, so those are my super simple tips on creating your own labels for your classroom. I really hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyed it. And if you do create your own labels, make sure you tag me on Instagram in pictures that you posted them, because I would love to see how they turned out. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!